NBA legend Charles Barkley owns a total of 4,500 acres of Alabama land, which is bigger than 3,400 football fields, and it comes with horse stables, a quarter-mile clay racetrack, legendary race cars, and a custom-built log home sitting in the middle of it all. The guy is basically living like Southern royalty on a working ranch that most people don't even know exists. But how did the NBA's loudest personality build the most insane ranch empire? Let's take a deep insider look. Why Alabama? The origins of empire. Here's something you might find interesting. Charles Barkley could have gone anywhere. LA, Miami, New York. Places where celebrities cluster and flash their wealth like it's part of the job description. But instead, he went back to Alabama, the same state where he grew up broke, overlooked, and written off. And that choice tells you everything about who Barkley actually is when the cameras shut off. Alabama isn't just some random real estate play for Charles. It's home. He was born in Leeds, a small town where everyone knew everyone, and privacy was just part of the culture. When you grow up in a place like that, the idea of living in a glass tower in Manhattan or a compound in Calabasas probably feels suffocating. Barkley wanted land. Real land. The kind where your nearest neighbor is half a mile away and you can actually hear yourself think. But let's be real, there's also a financial brilliance to this move. Alabama has some of the lowest property taxes in the country. For someone sitting on a $90 million net worth, that's not a small detail. Buying thousands of acres in Alabama costs a fraction of what it would in California or Florida. And maintaining it doesn't bleed you dry every year through taxes and fees. Not only that, but Alabama doesn't have the paparazzi problem as well, which means Barkley can roll into town, grab groceries, play golf, and live his life without TMZ camping outside his gates. That kind of freedom is priceless when you've spent decades being one of the most recognizable faces in sports. The ranch also reflects Barkley's philosophy on wealth, which he's talked about openly. Don't spend money trying to impress people you don't even like. He's never been the flashy type. Sure, he's got nice things, but he's not collecting supercars or building some ridiculous 50,000 square foot monument to his own ego. He built a working ranch because he actually wanted to live there, not because it looked good on Instagram. There's something quietly powerful about that. In a world where most celebrities are chasing the next headline, Barkley went the opposite direction. He bought land, built a home, and created a space where he controls the pace of life instead of letting life control him. But to really understand why this ranch exists, you've got to know where Barkley came from, because his story starts in a place where nothing was guaranteed and everything had to be earned the hard way. From Leeds to legend, the backstory. Unlike most icons, Charles Barkley's childhood wasn't a highlight reel. It was messy, unstable, and full of the kind of losses that shape you for life. He was born in Leeds, Alabama, on February 20th, 1963, and things got rocky for him right from the jump. His biological father bailed early, just vanished without a trace. His mom then remarried, trying to rebuild some stability for the family, but then his stepfather died suddenly when Charles was only 11 years old. By the time most kids are worried about middle school dances, Barkley had already learned that nothing in life is guaranteed. People leave, plans fall apart, and you've got to fight for everything. And that mentality carried him through everything that came next. At Leeds High School, Barkley wasn't some prodigy getting recruited by every major program. He was short for basketball, overweight, and completely overlooked. During his junior year, he didn't even make the varsity team. That's a gut punch that kills most kids' dreams right there. But Barkley didn't quit. He worked. He got stronger, faster, more aggressive. By his senior year, he was impossible to ignore. A scout from Auburn University noticed him and offered a scholarship. That was his ticket out. His first real door opening. At Auburn, Barkley played with raw force. He wasn't elegant or smooth. He was relentless. He dunked hard, rebounded harder, and played with this visible hunger that made you uncomfortable to watch. He didn't fit the classic mold of a basketball star, but his production overwhelmed every doubt. He became one of the most dominant players in the Southeastern Conference and won Conference Player of the Year honors. In 1984, Barkley made a massive gamble. He left college early to enter the NBA draft. That bet paid off when the Philadelphia 76ers picked him up, and suddenly, The kid from Leeds was making real money and playing on national television. In Philly, Barkley became more than just a scorer. He became a presence. He led with emotion, clashed openly with opponents and critics, and carried teams through sheer intensity. Endorsements started rolling in, including a huge partnership with Nike. His personality became a brand, and fame and money arrived together like a freight train. Then came the 1992 trade to the Phoenix Suns, which changed everything. Barkley delivered one of the best seasons of his career, led the league's top team, and won the MVP award almost immediately. But his body was breaking down. Severe back pain followed him everywhere. Success and physical decline were running side by side, and he could feel both closing in. Internationally, Barkley became a global icon as part of the 1992 Dream Team at the Barcelona Olympics. Playing alongside Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, and Larry Bird, he helped redefine basketball's global reach. His scoring and his confidence made him one of the most visible athletes on earth. His final years with the Houston Rockets were rough. Injuries limited him. Pain replaced celebration. In April 2000, he walked off the court for the last time, ending a 16-year career not with perfection, but with honesty. Retirement didn't quiet him, though. Barkley transitioned seamlessly into television, becoming a studio analyst on Inside the NBA. His blunt humor and unfiltered takes turned sports analysis into entertainment. Working alongside Shaq and Ernie Johnson, he built a second career that's arguably more influential than his first. And with that second career came financial security that allowed him to do something most athletes never get to do: build exactly the life he wanted, on his own terms, in the place that made him. Which brings us to the ranch, because this property isn't just real estate. It's a statement about what matters when the noise finally stops. Prairie Oaks Ranch, where 4,500 acres meets intention. Now let's talk about the ranch itself, because the scale alone is wild, and the details would make you scream. Prairie Oaks Ranch sprawls across approximately 4,500 acres of Alabama land. To put that in perspective, that's bigger than 3,400 football fields. You could drive for miles and still be on Barkley's property. This isn't a hobby ranch. This is a working operation built to function independently, quietly, and completely on its own terms. The operational setup reflects that seriousness. 4 stables, enclosed workshops, equipment sheds, hay storage, sawdust facilities. Everything's arranged to support daily movement across the property. Every pasture has wells and drinking troughs, meaning the land sustains itself without needing constant outside resources. There are miles of fenced woodland and wooden horse pastures dividing the ranch into purposeful zones, plus over 13 miles of cleared riding tracks that follow Big Prairie Stream, connecting training areas, open ranges, and hunting grounds without disrupting the natural flow. Recreation is woven into the land rather than tacked on. Horse training stables and riding ranges sit near discrete deer hunting spots. There's a quarter-mile clay racetrack curving through the property, and Barkley keeps 4 legendary race cars housed privately. Not for show, but as part of the ranch's internal rhythm. This is a guy who genuinely uses his space. Access to the property is controlled and deliberate. The main gate and service gate are paved with asphalt roads leading directly to the central working areas. A decorative iron gate with electronic control marks the entrance, restrained in design, signaling ownership without screaming about it. At the center of all this sits the main residence, and this is where Barkley's personality really comes through. It's a custom-built Pine Square log home, roughly 3,500 square feet, constructed by Hearthstone Homes of Tennessee. The house is low, wide, and grounded, capped with a commercial-grade metal roof. It's got 3 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms, and 2 half baths, arranged for long-term, comfortable living, not for impressing house guests. Inside, the living room forms the emotional anchor. Heart pine floors reclaimed from an old Georgia cotton gin run beneath exposed timber, carrying age and texture into every corner. 2 fireplaces sit at opposite ends, providing warmth that feels practical and constant. Pecky cypress paneling and custom faux plaster walls soften the room, while handmade ironwork adds quiet detail without demanding attention. The seating's arranged for conversation. Long evenings, slow mornings, days that aren't rushed. This is a space designed for living, not performing. The living room opens naturally toward a screened porch where custom oak plank flooring extends the interior outward. From here, the house breathes into the surrounding land, maintaining visual continuity with the fields beyond. Light filters in gently, never dramatic, reinforcing calm over spectacle. The kitchen keeps that same vibe. Custom cabinetry topped with black marble, heavy, understated, built to last. This isn't a showpiece kitchen for magazine spreads. It's a working kitchen designed for regular use. Nearby, the master suite includes a travertine marble bath with a steam shower, while custom rosewood office cabinetry in the bedroom supports work done in quiet isolation. Other spaces reinforce self-sufficiency. A large laundry room doubles as an office, finished with distressed beadboard cabinets and marble tops. 2 fireplaces warm the home across seasons. A built-in charcoal grill anchors the porch. A triple garage with 3 storage rooms, a sprinkler system, and an alarm system support the property's scale. Prairie Oaks Ranch isn't about flash. It's about control, distance, and intention. Every acre, every structure, every interior space serves a clear purpose. This is a property designed to support a steady, quiet life, one that exists on its own terms, far from attention and expectation. But Alabama's just one piece of Barkley's property story. Let's talk about what he built in Arizona, because even his getaway spot is next level. The Scottsdale Escape. Desert luxury done right. While Alabama is where Barkley's roots are, Scottsdale is where he lands when he wants modern luxury without sacrificing privacy. His Arizona home sits at the end of a quiet cul-de-sac in North Scottsdale, tucked behind a long curving driveway that immediately separates you from the outside world. The architecture follows a modern desert contemporary style. Flat roofs, clean horizontal lines, soft earth-toned stucco that blends naturally with the landscape. Mature desert trees and sculpted greenery frame the approach, guiding you calmly toward the house. The arrival sequence is deliberate. A wide circular drive leads to a sheltered portico supported by thick stone columns. Oversized wrought iron double doors anchor the facade, signaling solidity and permanence. Step inside, and you're hit with light. The entry opens into a tall foyer with polished stone floors stretching beneath a sweeping staircase. Dark wood rails, iron balusters, a cascading crystal chandelier pulling your eye upward. It sets a composed, confident tone immediately. From the foyer, the house unfolds laterally. Long hallways stretch with rhythm and balance, lined with artwork and antique-style console tables. Large windows pull in natural light, while seating niches turn passageways into moments of pause. The layout favors flow over separation, letting rooms connect without losing privacy. The main living room sits at the heart of the home. Floor-to-ceiling glass doors open directly to the backyard, drawing the lawn and pool into view. Neutral sofas, dark wood shelving, layered textures. It feels calm and lived in, not staged. Built-in cabinetry frames a large display wall, anchoring the room visually while keeping the atmosphere relaxed. The kitchen balances function and refinement. Dark wood cabinetry contrasts with expansive white stone countertops, while gold-toned fixtures add warmth without excess. A large central island serves as the gathering point, designed for everyday use rather than photo ops. The kitchen flows easily into dining and outdoor areas, reinforcing the home's indoor-outdoor rhythm. The dining area feels lighter and more intimate. A glass-topped table sits beneath decorative ceiling details, surrounded by art and mirrors that reflect light across the space. Sliding doors open directly to the patio, allowing meals to move outdoors seamlessly. Private spaces deepen the sense of calm. The primary bedroom is spacious and restrained, with large windows framing desert greenery. Soft carpeting, neutral walls, minimal furnishings, it breathes. The adjoining bathroom feels spa-like with dual vanities, a freestanding soaking tub near a window, and a generous enclosed shower designed purely for comfort. Entertainment areas reveal another side. A large recreation room opens under high ceilings, anchored by a billiards table and lounge seating built for long evenings. Nearby, a climate-controlled wine room adds intimacy, its wood racks creating a quiet, enclosed retreat. One of the wildest spaces is the oversized garage and multi-purpose interior area. Finished with polished concrete floors and expansive doors, it reads more like a private gallery or automotive showroom than simple storage, flexibility, and personal freedom at work. Outside, the backyard opens fully. A long rectangular pool stretches across the lawn, framed by stone decking and lounge seating. Covered patios extend the living space outward with built-in grilling and dining areas. As evening falls, warm interior light glows through glass walls, reflecting across water and stone. Barkley purchased this Scottsdale property back in 1998 for $2.2 million. Today, it's valued between $6 million and $8 million. That's not just appreciation, that's strategic real estate investment paying off over decades. This Scottsdale retreat reflects the other side of Barkley's life. Where Alabama is grounded and rural, Arizona is sleek and modern. Both properties offer privacy, both offer control, but they serve different moods, different moments. And just like his properties, Barkley's car collection reflects intentionality over excess, comfort and privacy over flash. The garage. Practical luxury on wheels. Barkley's car collection isn't about collecting trophies or showing off. It's about having the right tool for the right job, prioritizing comfort and privacy over headlines. Let's start with the Ford Mustang Mach-E. This one represents a shift toward quiet and control. Barkley chose it when he wanted movement without noise, a car that could slip through daily life without announcing itself. Behind the wheel, it's smooth and steady, gliding forward with clean acceleration and zero mechanical drama. The fastback shape, modern lighting, all-wheel drive stability, and tech-focused interior fit his routine of short trips, private errands, and moments when he just wants distance. Valued today around $40,000 to $55,000, the Mach-E is his choice for everyday calm. Then there's the Chevrolet Suburban, which entered his life for reliability at scale. This is the vehicle he uses for work, public appearances, and event days that require comfort without distraction. He often arrives in it for television tapings or meetings, moving with a small team. The long cabin gives everyone space to settle before stepping out. Known for three-row seating, expansive cargo area, smooth highway ride, and a quiet interior, it fits a lifestyle built around professional movement rather than leisure. Current value sits between $50,000 and $70,000, and it remains his dependable choice for busy days. The Lexus GX460 became part of his daily routine when privacy started mattering more than anything else. He uses it for getting around the city, heading to meetings, quiet dinners, usually alone or with someone close. The GX feels solid the moment the door closes, sealing out noise and attention. The interior is comfortable, the all-wheel drive system adds confidence, and it's known for lasting years without trouble. Valued around $45,000 to $65,000, the GX460 is a simple, reliable choice he depends on every day. These vehicles aren't about making statements. They're about moving through life comfortably, privately, and purposefully. And that same intentionality shows up in how Barkley built and sustains his wealth, because the man didn't just earn money, he multiplied it. The Empire. How $90 million happens. Let's break down the actual numbers because Barkley's financial story is smarter than most people realize. His estimated net worth sits at $90 million, built across the court, the camera, and decades of decisions that reshaped his life after basketball. Early in his NBA career, Barkley signed rookie-level contracts that paid a fraction of what superstars earn today. Over 16 seasons, his total NBA salary reached approximately $40 million. Strong money for the era, but not generational wealth by modern standards. The real expansion came off the court. During his playing years, Barkley earned another estimated $40 million from endorsements, becoming one of the most recognizable athletes in American advertising. Deals with Nike, McDonald's, T-Mobile, FanDuel, Dick's Sporting Goods, and Right Guard turned his blunt honesty into a commercial asset. His famous Nike line, "I'm not a role model," only increased his value. Controversy became currency. After retirement, television became his most powerful income engine. As a lead analyst on Inside the NBA on TNT, Barkley signed multiple long-term deals. A 5-year contract in 2020 paid $30 million. That was followed by a 10-year extension reported at $100 million, putting his annual salary between $6 million and $10 million depending on contract structure. In 2024, Barkley publicly stated that choosing not to move to another network after the NBA media shift cost him up to $100 million in potential earnings. He turned down the bigger check because he valued loyalty and comfort over pure dollars. That's a flex most people don't recognize. That financial foundation shows up in his assets. His Scottsdale residence, purchased in 1998 for $2.2 million, is now valued between $6 million and $8 million. He also owns property in Leeds, Alabama, where the ranch sits, and maintains ties to Philadelphia. Barkley's money follows a simple arc. Basketball gave him the stage, television and branding turned that visibility into lasting income. And today, that wealth funds a life centered on space, privacy, and personal control rather than excess. And that same groundedness shapes how he actually lives day to day. Because despite all the noise and the fame, Barkley's private life is shockingly simple. The man behind the empire: routine, balance, and freedom. So what does Charles Barkley's actual daily life look like now? It's slower, quieter, and more grounded than most people would guess. Family remains the center of his world. He spends most of his time with his wife, Maureen, keeping their life private and steady. Their days are shaped by routine rather than schedules, choosing quiet consistency over public attention. Mornings usually start early. Barkley values structure now. He enjoys calm breakfasts, light exercise, and time outdoors. Golf has become one of his favorite daily habits. On Instagram, he often shares relaxed moments on the course, dressed casually, smiling, clearly unbothered by performance or score. For him, golf isn't about competition. It's about movement, fresh air, and time to think. Friendships matter more than crowds. Barkley keeps a small circle of close friends, many from sports and television, but their time together is informal. They play golf, share meals, talk sports, and joke without cameras. Laughter is a constant part of his everyday life. Travel today is selective. Instead of constant flights and packed schedules, he chooses short trips tied to rest, golf destinations, or time with friends. When he travels, it's usually to quiet resorts or familiar places. Comfort and peace guide his choices. Television work still plays a role. As an analyst on Inside the NBA, Barkley spends time in studios and traveling for work, but colleagues describe his off-camera life as relaxed and grounded. He shows up, does the work, and then disappears back into his private world. This chapter of Barkley's life is defined by balance rather than ambition. After decades of noise, pressure, and expectation, he now measures success in calm mornings, shared laughter, and unhurried days. The Alabama ranch, the Scottsdale retreat, the cars, the investments, they're all pieces of a larger story about transformation. Barkley turned early hardship into discipline, rejection into fuel, and fame into something sustainable. He built an empire that doesn't require constant maintenance or public validation. It just exists, generating wealth and opportunity while he focuses on what actually matters: family, health, and living life on his own terms. And honestly, for a guy who spent his whole career being loud, controversial, and unapologetically himself, the fact that his greatest achievement might be finding peace and quiet on 4,500 acres of Alabama land feels perfectly right. And with that note, we conclude our journey through Charles Barkley's insane Alabama ranch and overall real estate portfolio. Which part of this extravagant empire impressed you the most? Let me know in the comments. And for more such interesting peeks into the lives of Black celebrities, take a look at Black Status.